Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse, getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual, just like the old days when we went every single day. The stock market was open for 1 year. That was my vow. And then, of course, after that, started fading in a little bit. I really went deep and focused on creating all those trading bots. Of course, the baby was born and all that stuff. So, but we're back. We are back. I've got a pretty good handle on all those trading bots. So I'm going to start releasing those soon. Just having the coders double check, make sure there's no more bugs or anything like that. I think they're good. I think it's good to go. Just want to make sure before I release them, because once you do, then it's more difficult to, then you have to update, republish it, and then tell everyone to remove the strategy from TradingView, and then add it back on, right? So it's better to just get it right and double check, make sure there's no bugs or anything like that. Just double, triple check. And, because anytime you're dealing with software or anything online like that, you just want to make sure it's good to go. And of course, there's never a guarantee that software is going to be perfect, right? So anyways, that's it. First half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Ethereum, probably skim through some of the altcoins. Not really seeing too much of a change that we've been covering every day on the live stream since not this past Monday, but the Monday before. So we've been doing this now. This is our ninth day in a row, or ninth day in a row that the stock market is open. So that's where we're at. We've been covering this every single day, the entire way. So no need to keep going through the altcoin stuff unless there's a major development that's happening. And a lot of them look very similar, right? So we'll look at the charts on the watch list, see if anything jumps out at us, and expect bounces along the way, right? Expect bounces along the way. Second half of the live stream, make sure to put in all your chart requests early. I'm not seeing any right now, but if you want me to chart something for you, put in the ticker symbol. Let me know the name of the asset and what type of asset class it is. Like, is it crypto? Is it stock, etc.? Because in all the details, because that's, when I go to search for it, I just want to make sure that we don't spend a lot of time looking for one, and then I start charting it and find out it's not even the right one that you want me to look at. So it's happened in the past. That's why I say it. So there's a lot of overlap on crypto and stock ticker symbols. So help me. Also, let's smash the like button, hit the repost button, share with your family and friends, and comment, say hello, put an emoji, whatever it is. Help me with the algorithms. What's up, long-term market sniper? Say hello to your brother RJ as well. Forgot to do one thing. Hold on. Before we get into it, let's go over here. Let's do what we said. Let's go and let's see. Probably have to hit the refresh button. Bear with me for one moment. There we go. Boom. Repost. Throw in the quick emoji. Help me. Appreciate it. Boom. All right. So let's get back to it and come over here, unpin that, and refresh and pin. Got it. All right. Now we get back to the charts. Where we at? So still looking at this head and shoulders pattern. Obviously, it hasn't hit the head and shoulders pattern target yet. If it does, it lines up with like at least 5 significant reasons why price could go back and hit target 4, which is around that $93,000 to $95,000 area. We don't have a magic crystal ball, and we don't have a guarantee on anything. But there's a lot of reasons why, and a lot of reasons why it could be shaping up that way. So we'll find out if it does or not. But this is still valid as of right now. It was posted back here, and since then it broke down, came back, spiked above, and then closed back below. Now it's back testing again. Is this the final back test? That's what we're going to find out in the near future. Whether it's today, tomorrow, or the next day, doesn't really matter. It's just we're just watching it unfold in real time, right? Watch it unfold in real time. Yep. Okay, what else? Oh, let's look at this crazy chart over here, this crazy idea. It's not like we're the hindsight crew. So yeah, I do get things wrong. Obviously, I'm not 100% accurate, and I make some bold calls. So you're going to expect to be wrong. And but the reply guys love it. If they see any drop of blood, they just love to get in there and try to, it's so funny. But here we are. This is still working out eerily similar to what I drew back when Bitcoin was at 100, back on October 8th, when Bitcoin was at 123,400-ish. And yeah, these couple squiggly lines didn't play out. It happened much faster. It dropped down. And then on October 11th, I was wondering if it was going to bounce. I said, will it bounce here like it does here? And in hindsight, it did. It bounced up here, right? Then over here on October 17th, I posted, and this is all documented. It's all on X app, right? So if you're not following me over there, I mean, most of you are, but posting those charts and stuff. So on October 17th, last Friday, I said, will it bounce here, right? Similar to here. And in hindsight, it did. So we're at the second bounce here, not the first one, the second bounce here. And then after it made what looks like a possible lower high, came back down. Very similar. I mean, it's eerily similar playing out from the original post that I did on October 8th. It's crazy. What I've noticed when I've been posting fractals on Twitter X for more than 4.5 years. And what I found out is if I find a really good fractal or idea, it can play out eerily similar for about 30 to 45 days. After that, it usually breaks correlation, right? And it's not going to be exact, right? It's just an overall idea. But 30 to 45 days takes you like all the way down here, right? So even if it plays out to where it's coming down to hit target 4 and then bounces, it's possible it continues to play out all the way down. But that 30 to 45 days puts it right around this area, which is like target 4, and bouncing in target 4 makes a lot of sense. Now, will it bounce and go higher? It's possible, but at that point, the higher time frames will be rolling over. People are already capitulating time-wise, including myself as a swing trader, right? The worst thing for a swing trader is to flatline and go sideways indefinitely, right? That's the worst. Like if Bitcoin is pumping, that is what I love the most. When Bitcoin is dropping, that's what I love the second most. When Bitcoin is going sideways, I don't like it when Bitcoin goes sideways, right? So if it's pumping, that's my first choice. If it's dumping, that's my second choice. If it's going sideways, That's not even one of my choices. I wouldn't even choose that. But here we are. If this is the start of the bear market, right? And there's several reasons why it could be. It's at least a local top, right? And all the tops start as a local top, as we've been talking about. The top is always in hindsight, and it's so obvious in hindsight. But when you're going through it, you have to treat it as a local top. And if it becomes something more, then, in hindsight, that was the top. Some other trend lines you could draw that it's broken, right? That trend line's been broken. That trend line's been broken. So the momentum is to the downside now. It's not to the upside. You could even pull this all the way back to this last pivot point back in April when we were calling out bullish divergence. And if you look at it, broke that trend line. And that's how I got out of the November 2021 top as well. I felt I was late. I wasn't posting this type of a chart. I did post the bearish divergence. But once it started breaking these longer term upward trend lines, that's when I was getting out, right? It was at $61,000. So that long 10x leverage trade that I was in on Bitcoin still net over $100,000, six figures. It was amazing from that $44,000 Bitcoin in September 2021 up. But I gave back in unrealized gains when it dropped from 65 to 61. I think it was like $60,000 in a short period of time, right? So I gave back 60,000 unrealized gains. So it was up significantly more. But then by the time it hit 61, still locked in a six figure net trade. And it was, and the trade before that was from $32,000 along in July up to the August, September of $48,000, $50,000 Bitcoin. And then it corrected to like 40. And then at like 40, my average buy-in was, I actually scaled in on the second one. I scaled in and the average buy-in was at 44,000. I usually don't scale in. I usually just click all or none. But on that one, I decided to scale in, and because I was being a little bit more aggressive early. And then, so I was scaling in on that one and then fully went out at 61,000 based off of a similar break of trend line as my fail safe. And I actually put that video out. It was like a short video, like 10 minutes or less, of how I would sell the top, right? It was bearish divergence at the top and the parabolic trend line. It didn't even really go parabolic, but it was like parabolic enough, like based off of like just going up. And I did that video. I think it's still on YouTube from like October 2021, how I would sell the top. And that's how I sold it, right? Break of a longer term trend line after bearish divergence, et cetera, et cetera. So here we are. Is this the last bounce up at $110,000 before we go down to target 4? Will this be the last bounce to $100,000 or so, wherever it comes back up to, with a wick before we go into the full bear market, right? These are questions you should be asking yourself. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, it's for educational purposes only, and hopefully we have a little bit of fun along the way, making fun of me or whatever the case may be. These are just things I think about, and then I'm just showing you what I see on the charts. So it's bouncing eerily similar, and even if it plays out different, it's still the same thing, right? So once it starts, once it broke that line, then we saw it go lower. Now you can redraw it here. it starts to break back below here, take out this pivot point with a close similar to that as prices coming down, then I would assume the next move down would be significant, right? And you'll still see the crypto bros not call it, right? You'll still see them move the moving average lower and lower and lower. You'll still see why it's a 5-year cycle instead of a 4-year cycle. You'll still see the gold fractals. You'll still see all that stuff, right? All that happened in 2022, all the way till April. And there was even large crypto gurus accounts out there that sell courses and stuff that were still thinking it was a bull market in April of 2022. No kidding. I lost a lot of crypto big account influencer friends during that time, right? Cyber friends, acquaintances, direct message friends, right? And it's fine, right? I think it's funny. But hello. So it wasn't until June 2022 when most of those accounts capitulated. So price was already back to like 40,000, 35,000. And guess who at that point was talking about shorting it, right? When everyone wants to start shorting Bitcoin or any other assets, it's usually the last 20% of the move, right? And that's when you're going to start seeing where I'll be less and less confident to short it the last 20% of the move, right? I was more confident to buy at $16,000, 800 Bitcoin after bullish divergence, after going through a 1-year correction with 5x leverage, than I was buying it on this breakout here. Even though there was bullish divergence and a buy signal, that move up to hit some targets, I was less confident to buy there than I was at 16,800. So after a major correction, and if there's bullish divergence given to us again, then I will be a lot more confident to buy much, much lower, right? So this is looking more like a topping pattern than the next move up pattern, right? So that's what we're watching. Same thing we've been watching, just continue to watch it, look at it. Here are the targets. Again, had the sell signal. The wick came all the way down to 102,000-ish. Almost hit target 3, but did not. Then it wicked down again, came all the way down to 103,500. Bounced back up, rejected by the trailing dots, et cetera. So is the bottom in? It's possible, but I think it's a very, 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 very low percentage chance. And the probabilities are that we're going to go lower, right? Could it bounce first? Sure. It could always bounce first. It's even possible. I think this is a lower probability as well, but it's possible it came all the way back up here and that fractal would no longer be this fractal would no longer be valid in my opinion. But these targets would still be valid. It's always a possibility. I think that's also a lower probability as of right now. If you look at the weekly chart, we still had the not the RSI. We did have the RSI sell signal as well back in September on the weekly chart, but we had the sell signal on mid-October, about 10 days ago. Or no, it happened on a Sunday, so that was the 19th, October 19th. So 4 days ago, we had the sell signal, and price came all the way back up, basically almost retested the trending dots. And, if you've got the filter set on the strategy that's rolling out, then these buy signals, there's a filter on there to ignore when the buy signals are below the trailing dots, and it'll ignore the sell signals when it's above the trending dot. So there's multiple filters on it, position management tools, all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be rolling out. So I'm not going to go live until the first 2 out of I don't even know. There might be more than 30 trading bots. I'm not as organized when it comes to that, but I have them all. And I'm just going to methodically go through each one with the coders, have them double check everything. And after I release the first 2, my lofty goal is to release a new trading bot every week. Some weeks I might be able to release 2. I don't know. There might be weeks where, we're visiting family for the holidays and might not be able to release any, right? So, but the overall average goal, I'm going to try to release 1 per week. The more I release, the more cost it's going to be, right? So I'm rolling out 2. It's going to be a very, very low cost for at least probably the first 100 subscribers. And then the yearly plan will definitely go away at 50 to 100 subscribers probably. I don't know. Because it's going to be way too cheap. It's not going to even make sense, right? But I'm going to do that for the first brave, battle-tested souls that enter, and then hopefully the main goal of it is not just to keep them all to myself, but build an army of market snipers all working together, finding the right combination of settings. There's going to be people out there like Apilix, who's been helping out a lot, Mike G, who's been helping out a lot in the past of trying to optimize each bot. And they find better settings than I do, because I'm still focused on building more bots that I think could be a good idea. And then it's okay, let's back test them, see if we can find the best setting. So there's already some very, very potential encouraging strategies already. So imagine if we had 100 of them. There's only 2 of them, right? Imagine if we had 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 of them all trying to find the best settings, sharing together, and continuing to improve over and over and over again. So that's the main goal. But with that, let's keep going. Bitcoin had the sell signal, had the RSI sell signal, longer term bearish divergence, all that stuff. Of course, the MACD bearish crossover. 2-week chart, still above the trailing dots as of right now. Long-term bearish divergence, MACD bearish crossover, etc., etc., etc. So that's what we're watching. What else? That one looks different. Oh, Bitcoin futures. This is a weekly chart, daily chart, right? So the daily chart has not come back into the trailing dots yet. The daily chart has not, on the Bitcoin futures, come down and nearly hit target 3 as of yet. So not all the charts are lining up correctly, and I think that the market bosses will want all the charts to line up close enough. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Let's go right on to Ethereum, see what's going on. Same view over here, right? Has hit 3 out of 4 targets to the downside. Has been making lower highs and lower lows, lower highs, lower high. We'll see if it's confirmed with the lower low over here and comes down, retest target 3 and or target 4 for Ethereum. What else? Still below. Still below. Still bearish on the daily chart. XRP, still bearish. XCN, Chainlink, near Cardano, HBAR, not much to report, right? Not much to report. Solana, back into the trending dots. Chop Suey, Fetch got crushed. Let's take a look at, let's see, Magnificent 7, PLTR, TQQ, Google, Amazon, NVIDIA. What else? Russell 2000, still holding. NASDAQ broke the trend line, came back for a back test, still holding the trending dots as of right now. Apple still trying to hold on. SP 500 could be a possible lower high. What else? What else? Microsoft, DGI, Dow Jones. A lot of them look very similar. The dollar still holding above the trending dots. No buy signal on the weekly chart yet, but it looks like it could be getting close, right? Looks like it could be getting close. The trending dots have flipped as well and is green. So you can see like the green trending dots, it's starting to trend back up. It's possible we see a pending buy signal on the weekly chart in the near future, right? It's possible. You had an RSI buy signal over here in October. Had the longer term bullish divergence getting picked up. And so it's flipping around, right? You had the RSI sell signal back up over here. Candle closed below the trending dots. We had an RSI buy signal over here. Close above the trending dots, right? So the ship has been turning around slowly on the dollar. It's hit one target so far. And if you get a buy signal, then the probabilities will continue to increase that we're going to go up and hit additional targets. Retest target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4 on the weekly chart, as the daily chart is still bullish. Netflix has a pending sell signal again. We talked about this and covered it. It looked very similar to over here, right? Very similar. So be interesting if we even put like, see, bars pattern. Right? Just kind of an idea of what kind of looks like. So it's kind of like, let's move the fractal over so you can see it a little better, but something like that, right? Possible. Which means it just, basically it just means it comes back and retests the 200-week moving average, just like it did back over here, right? And then went well below it. So it came back, retested it, and then even went significantly lower than that. So Netflix, there's a lot of similarities on Netflix from that sell signal to those 2 weekly candles, followed by another bigger sell candle, right? Looks very similar to that end of 2021, 2022 time, right? So let's see, Tesla, what else? Daily chart, coming back in for a back test of the trending dots and the upward trend line. Will it get rejected? Will it roll back over? It's possible. You got some gaps down below. This was the breakout. That was the fake out. Come back in, then break out, then put in another higher low, then go. Some of these assets are wild for swing trading, right? So, but it did break out to the upside, and now it was at the top, was at a lower high. About to find out. Come back in for a retracement on Tesla. So with that, let's see. No chart requests on the comments that I see. Let's see, anything else that jumps out at us? Gold. I know that's the talk of the town right now, but we've been talking about gold for a long time. Yesterday, we talked about, was it going to just crash all the way down? It's possible, but usually you'd at least expect a bounce, right? So it came down to 4,000, came all the way back up to 41.75. Still have, could play out like this or go on to make new all-time highs. So not ready to call the top on gold yet. Silver looks similar. Could come back in for a retest of the trading dots. Woo. T-Docs still doing nothing. Hit 2 out of 4 targets, and that's it. PayPal, not much. Hive had the sell signal on Hive. Trending dots are rolling over. Getting a tiny little bounce on the Bitcoin miners. But those are big drops. Those were big drops. And I was talking about scaling out, right? My mom scaled out 50% of her position here at target 3 and then scaled out the rest of her position at target 4, right? So she was locking in on the way up, not on the way down, because and when we first took out 50% here on Bitfarm and Hive, do we think it could go higher? Sure, but I told her, I'm like, it's easier to get out now because once these reverse, she's not watching charts or her accounts all day every day, right? She's not. She's out living her best life, her best retired life. So sometimes she might not be around to, like, I text her, like, hey, close your position, or hey, buy this position. She might not get back to me for a while, right? Or maybe she doesn't have cell service, who knows? But to do it all from her phone. So another reason why for my mom, it's a good strategy to scale out. So scale out on the way up and lock in some gains, lock in the rest of the gains. Because I was like, this can reverse very quickly. You could wake up with a big gap down 21%, 33%, and then you might as well have scaled on the way up anyways, right? So that's Bitfarm, well below the train dots, could see a bounce, but the assets that pump really hard, really fast, also crash really hard, really fast. So it's like catching lightning in a bottle is what I've been saying since like 2022 on any of these bounces. Taught my daughter to do that. It's so fun watching her do it. And then now she completes the sequence for the last couple months where we will cheers her water, obviously. Now it's her water, her milk. She was cheering apple juice, and then we drink, and then she goes, so fun. CLSK had the sell signal well below the trailing dots. Again, could catch a bounce back up in the trailing dots, and then maybe that was it. Litecoin still getting crushed. Baritone trying to catch a bounce back above the trailing dots. Has longer term targets. Will we see them get hit? Maybe, but hasn't even hit longer term target 1 yet. Did have bullish divergence, something to keep an eye on, but also like kind of taking time off the clock and letting the moving averages and the trending dots catch up, right? What else? TLT still bullish above the trending dots. Weekly chart still bullish above the trending dots. Expect pullbacks along the way. Lemonade trying to catch a bounce, right? This was bearish divergence. This was lower high, lower low. Oops. Get rid of those dots. But the weekly chart is still currently bullish, but below the trending dots. So, is it going to go up and hit more? It's possible. Weekly chart, if you gain back above the trending dots, 2-week chart is still bullish. Monthly chart is still bullish, right? So there's a lot of reasons why Lemonade is not done, but doesn't mean it couldn't, wait for the trending dots on these higher time frames to catch up, right? However it plays out, and then come up, right? So that would take some time to play out. Talking about like possibility of 5 or 6 months, right? Who knows? But still in a bullish momentum up on Lemonade. Expect some wild swings on it, but that's what I'm kind of looking at. Even if you look at the weekly chart, how it could play out, up, down, blah, 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 and then come up, right? Blah, blah, blah. Here's the daily chart. So if it is going to reverse on the daily chart, while the higher time frames are still bullish, right? Oops. Then, what does that look like? Get back above the trading dots, look for a buy signal, look for, reasons why it could go higher, and then just make sure that your position management is all set up with, what's your profit goals, where are you wrong on your thesis, where's your stop loss, what's your exit strategy. You're gonna have everything laid out in advance, right? So, got a big game tonight, Minnesota Vikings. Ooh. I looked at tickets to go to the Vikings-Chargers game, but I wish it was on a Sunday. On a Sunday, I would have gone for sure. For sure, I would have gone on a Sunday. On a Thursday evening, having to drive to LA area, SoFi Stadium is LA County, but it's not quite LA City, but it's not as far as LA, but I'm not driving. I just can't get myself to drive. Let's see, if the game's at 5, I'd have to leave at like 3 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon. Battle traffic, find a babysitter, and literally be gone from 3 to probably, by the time you get back to your car, drive all the way home out of all that traffic, to 10 p.m. So to do all that on a Thursday night from 3 to 10 p.m. and have a babysitter, it's like $1,000 night, and I would be exhausted. And then, so a Sunday, I would have for sure done it, for sure. It was so much fun when the Vikings played the Chargers a few years back, and me and the wife went, and we had 50. It was like 50-yard line seats, 7th row. It was a great time. There was more Vikings fans, and we beat. It was a few years ago because Chargers just moved up to LA. SoFi wasn't built yet, and Phillip Rivers was still playing, but we beat them like 30-something by like 30-some points. It was a fun time, but that was also before the baby. So the logistics on a Thursday, that was a Sunday. the logistics on Thursday is just with a baby now too, or she's 16 months, but the logistics on it is just, it's not easy. And instead of like $400 day like it was back then, worth of fun, it's like $1,000 now, right? $1,000, and it's on a Thursday. And if you have to battle LA traffic on a Thursday, and it's a 7-hour ordeal, and you have to find a babysitter and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, let's just watch it at home. Hang out with the baby, watch it from home. It's free, right? So I can't get myself to do it on a Thursday night. I looked at it. I've been looking at it for months. I've seen it on the schedule for months. And I was like, ooh, I want to go. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. So anyways, no chart requests. Awesome. Okay. MicroStrategy, still watching this on the weekly chart. Still bearish on the weekly chart. Still looking like a Adam and Eve topping pattern. Top was in. We were talking about that back in November 2024. Getting closer and closer to that confirmation line. Expect probably a bounce from there, right? Just like it bounced 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. It bounced on the confirmation line and then bounced hard. I wouldn't expect that big of a bounce, but if price did come back down like this, maybe it bounces back up, comes back down, back tests, and then here, bounce, and then maybe even lower after that, right? Meanwhile, the training dots over time, right? Make those red. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now. Still looking at it. Still looking at the confirmation line here. Break of that sends price back down to the 200-week moving average. Break that. And the probabilities will increase that not only the 200-week moving average, but it's possible we see it price back down below $100, right? So will that target get hit? I don't know. It's probably a 30% chance, but you start closing below here, probably gets higher to 50% chance, and then start closing below the 200-week moving average. Then I would say it's like a 75-80% chance that we go down and hit those targets below $100 on MicroStrategy. So we'll see what happens. Woo! What else? Labu, haven't looked at Labu in a while. SoFi, Rivian, not doing much. What else? Oh yeah, HODL. What's HODL probably catching a bounce? Daily chart is still bearish, letting the trending dots catch up. Very similar to the Bitcoin futures. HODL, like these ETFs and Bitcoin futures has not retested the trending dots where Bitcoin has on the exchanges. So it's possible HODL and Bitcoin futures retest trending dots before going lower and builds out a little bit more of a right shoulder similar to Bitcoin on Binance. So maybe it's like a lower one, right? So maybe it's a lower shoulder. And then starts filling these gaps, right? So that's HODL. What else? Coin. Still bearish. Oh, on HODL, there was that weekly sell signal as well. So weekly sell signal took out all these pivot points. Took out this low over here on the weekly chart. So it made a lower low. Now will it make a lower high, right? The weekly close took out all the pivot points. So that's why I like to look at multiple charts And are we seeing slightly different? Are we seeing the same? Give us different clues. It's not just one exchange on Bitcoin. There's other ones that might give you other clues. And I'm sure there's plenty more, but Palladium. Oof. It's possible. Ooh. Let's see if you go like, see the 200-week moving average over there like that. Let's see what else. Boom. Boom. Right. 2-week chart. Cover that. I think that's about it. So with that, I think we're going to call it here. We're at about 46 minutes. Again, thanks for all of your support. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for hitting the repost button. And help me with the algorithms. Throw in an emoji, a comment, all of the above. And we'll continue to snipe the markets together. And with that, hope you have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you tomorrow on the next live stream. Thank you. Adios.